Hey folks, Ben the Looney back again with another video. Yeah, I ain't got any fancy intro or anything, so I'm just gonna go ahead and draw for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, doggone it, where's my pen? I can't find my dagnab pen.
Hey, it's right here.
Oh, hey, thanks, Trent. How'd you get in my house?
You left your back door open.
What kind of country is this when you can't even leave your doors unlocked anymore?
America?
Right. Well, since you're here, you want to sit down and draw with me?
Yes, I do. In fact, I kind of already been doing something right now for you. See, it is Tex Avery's birthday today, and that got me thinking about how his stuff is fantastic.
It's Tex Avery's birthday today? Why didn't anybody tell
Yes.
me? I'm the Tex Avery guy.
I don't know. The internet's more focused on bad things instead of good things, which doesn't make sense. Anyway.
Well, I think it would be a good idea. It's been a while since I've talked about Tex Avery. After all, he is my favorite cartoon director of all time.
He influenced a lot of animation nuances and subtle things like that. You want me to introduce myself?
Oh, of course.
Hey, my name is Trent. I love drawing and I love life. I'm still trying to figure out everything else. And, yeah, I love fucking Looney Tunes stuff like everyone else does. I don't know.
And he's such a good friend of mine that I'm not even going to call the cops on him for breaking and entering into my house.
Yeah, we are practically close. If only close. That would have gone so much better. Okay.
Well,
anyway, I've got a thing almost done drawing right now. It's of Red Hood and fucking Droopy, who, by the way, I think is my spirit animal, except I'm not as tired as he is. I'm always an excitable person, but his mood on everything is just how I feel about life right now.
Yeah, he's more laid back than you are.
Yes, but how he feels about everything is so relatable. He just does not care about that wolf dude, no matter how obnoxious that guy is.
Nope.
What do we do? You remember that fucking 2003 or 2004 short of the Wolf and Droopy that Cartoon Network had?
Oh yeah, thanks a latte.
Yes. Get a real job.
I don't like cheap dates.
And he forgot his latte.
You know what? He forgot his latte.
You know, that's a better impression than I could. Like, no matter what voice impression I do, I just end up sounding like myself.
Yeah, Droopy always was one of my favorite characters to voice for.
You always, you have a better range than I do, and yeah.
Which is weird. You think my redneck accent would hold me back a little bit.
I mean, I could hear it subtly every now and then, but you watch more cartoons than I do, which is weird because I was the one that went to animation school.
I went to animation school too. It wasn't as good as yours, but
yeah, maybe that's why. I went to School of Visual Arts, not to toot my own horn, but yeah, it's really expensive, but I met so many great people there.
Yep. The same school John R. Dilworth and Rebecca Sugar went to.
Ian Jones Cordy and the guy who founded Titmouse.
And I think Bill Plimpton went there too.
He did.
Yep.
I remember seeing posters of that man.
Yep.
That man's work in our animation classes.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile,
the only famous people that come out of my school are Pika Petey and Gene Goldstein.
Oh, that man. How did they deal with not having a cafe?
Most students starved to death.
That has been on my mind ever since ever since that interview we had talking about your cafe. Okay, so
anyway, Tex Avery.
Yeah, I'm drawing Red Hood right now, who I just fucking realized was an aged up Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know how people would feel about that.
Based off of classic Hollywood actress Katharine Hepburn. you wolves,
there we go.
Yep, you wolves are rather like Riley, you are.
Yeah. Bitch, I hold you full of dish. Wanted to set a dumb voice that didn't have anything to do with her. I had no idea she was based off an actor I've never heard of.
Well, I'm a classic movie guy, so I know that.
Of course, you knew about June Ori or whatever that girl was.
June Foray.
June Foray, yes.
My favorite voice actress, who was also in a lot of Tex Avery cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I said people would feel weird because isn't Red Riding Hood a kid?
Technically.
Yeah, they turned her into a hot woman.
Well, I think the original fairy tale was about sexual promiscuity or something like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather, you don't see this type of fan service in cartoons anymore, which, I'm not gonna be a grumpster about that, but you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's because these cartoons were made for adults and guys who were in the army overseas for World War II.
Yeah, wait, so, like, they were exclusively made for the army? They were actual snafu?
Well, Snafu was made for the specifically for the army, but the Red Hot Riding Hood shorts, those were theatrically released, but Tex knew a bunch of army guys liked those cartoons, so he put a lot of hot women in them.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So what's your experience with Tex Avery? You probably haven't seen every cartoon of his like I have.
No, I have not, but I knew about the guy. We learned about the guy. The Mask was highly influenced by him. There was an entire documentary about him on the Mask DVD.
Oh, huh. I'll have to see if my Mask DVD has that.
Yeah, please. It's really respectful to the guy.
Yeah, and I thought I heard that on that VHS tape that Jim Carrey has in that movie, the Screwball Classics. I think Jim Carrey said that was his own personal copy of that.
I mean, yeah, that's how they were able to make the Mask movie be different from the comics. They just made it a Tex Avery cartoon, which, honestly, the original comic did feel like a cartoon anyway. So that was about as faithful as we got with that film.
But, so yeah, it's like Tex Avery, for those of you unaware, he was a cartoon director. He started out as an animator. He didn't like animation too much. He felt he wasn't that good of an artist. So he eventually got his way up to director and went to Warner Brothers when it was produced by a little studio called Termite Terrace. And yeah, he pretty much introduced the wacky Looney Tunes style that we know the Looney Tunes for now.
Okay, wait a minute. When you said he animated, like, what did he animate for? Where did he work at?
He started work at Walter Lantz Studios, the studio that was known for Woody Woodpecker, but they were making Oswald Rabbit cartoons at the time.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was where. Wait, Walt? Is that where Walt came from?
Well, Oswald Rabbit was created by Walt for Universal Studios or United Artists, which no, it was Universal. And when Walt wanted a bigger budget for the cartoons, the folks at Universal said, "Nope, sorry." And then Walt lost rights to the character.
Excuse me, but all right. I wanted to say something. I just forgot what. God, remember the Tex Avery show?
Yes, actually, I think that was my exposure to me, and a lot of millennials got to Tex Avery cartoons back when Cartoon Network had a lot more variety and not just Teen Titans Go marathons.
No. Okay, first of all, to be fair, Teen Titans Go ain't that abundant anymore. And secondly, I'm not talking about the block Cartoon Network had. I'm talking about the Canadian show.
We don't talk about that show around here.
Okay, never mind.
That show was Tex Avery in name only.
Yeah, for some reason. Okay. Maybe I'm really liking this Droopy.
Yeah.
Boy.
It's like, we're only talking about the good stuff here. But, so yeah, well, Tex Avery was at Warner Brothers. He created two little-known cartoon characters. You probably never heard of them. Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Very obscure.
Wait a minute. I was looking up this guy's filmography, and apparently, he actually made the characters?
Technically, yeah.
Technically, okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's actually legitimately amazing.
Tex created the first Daffy Duck cartoon, and then as for Bugs Bunny, another animator made a rip-off of Daffy Duck and just made it a rabbit. Well, Tex Avery took that rabbit character and he made it his own thing, and then he made a wisecracking New Yorker, and that's where Bugs Bunny came.
No wonder people say they have great chemistry. They're a clone. And we're back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, you can always edit those parts out.
Yeah, fucking technical difficulties.
Or not.
Stuff.
Or not.
So,
I don't care. I like the raw feel of these.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna, like, people do love raw feels of recordings, but, like, they're to an extent, like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the podcast Sleepycast.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, it's like, those podcasts are edited, but it doesn't seem like that because their talking is so naturally flowing. Like, that's the same thing could be said about a lot of Let's Play videos. Like, they seem like it's a one-shot thing, but I guess I had to edit, like, an hour footage and just make it seem natural.
So anyway,
you know, the edited... Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just want to get all this Tex Avery stuff out because his career is pretty massive.
Oh shit, what else did he work on?
Well, so he worked at MGM for 15 years. He started to go through a creative depression where he's like, I can't do this anymore. He felt like he was starting to, because he was a lot like me, he felt like he was starting to run out of ideas, and he was pretty much a perfectionist. And so eventually he went back to Walter Lantz Studio and he worked on Chilly Willy cartoons. He only directed 4 cartoons, and then he went into doing commercials, and he did that for the rest of his career until the 1980s when he did one last thing for Hanna-Barbera. He created Quickie Koala.
Quickie Koala, I'll have to look that up.
It's not his best work.
Okay,
yeah.
But it is still interesting to see just because it's his last work. Yeah.
So, that's pretty much Tex Avery's career in a nutshell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not really a nutshell, you just simply talk about it.
Right. But, so yeah, he's always been a big influence on me. My sense of humor, my cartoony style, and just the way I've done practically everything has always in some way, shape, or form been influenced by him.
Curious question: is Rocky and Bullwinkle technically Tex? Were they inspired by Tex Avery, just with a more limited style of animation?
You could say that, but I read a book on Rocky and Bullwinkle that was more or less inspired by more old school comedy movies like Marx Brothers and just old snappy radio programs that focus more on dialogue than visuals. Yeah.
All right. Oh, that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, off topic, but do you remember Cool McCool?
No.
Oh, it was a really short-lived animated series, apparently made by Bob Kane, the guy who did Batman, and I guess just thinking about Rocky and Bullwinkle reminded me of that because it's very simple animated. Just think of, like, the most badass man ever who's just, I don't know, sort of indestructible, but not really. It's like, that was an interesting time to be alive. Like, you know, we had our Hanna-Barberas, but we also had not Hanna-Barberas. You know, like Rocky and Bullwinkle and Cool McCool.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to call those types of shows, or what even happened. What? Yeah, not Tex Avery, but like he worked on shows and like the hit. When was his last cartoon exactly for Hanna-Barbera?
Quickie Koala.
Quickie Koala. Yeah. Was that the dawn of Cartoon Network? Or?
No, Tex Avery died before Cartoon Network was even thought of.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
okay.
He died in 1980.
Quickie Koala. I think I might have seen that before. Wait a minute. Let me look him up. How do you spell it?
Kwickey.
Koala. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait, no, it's not that familiar, to be honest, actually.
Wait a minute. SpongeBob, make mine chocolate.
Wow, that does barely looks anything like Tex. Oh wait, I could see a dog. I could see a yellow dog that I've seen in other Hanna-Barbera. I saw a dog in one of the image-related results. He looked like he was in a Tom and Jerry thing, and that wolf kind of looks similar. So, yeah, I don't even know if they really took advantage of his creative ideas. I think they just really wanted to make it more of a streamlined Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just the idea.
At first glance, the idea.
Yeah.
At first glance, you wouldn't even know it's Tex Avery.
Yeah, it's just the idea, basically.
Okay. Oof. I've been hearing you cough a lot.
Well, no, I'm fine. I just when I said I was getting the mail earlier, yeah, I live on a hill, and the mailbox is all the way down the hill, so I have to walk like half a mile just to go get the mail.
Jesus Christ.
I don't care. I need the exercise.
Yeah, we all do, and maybe that's why it's maybe and it's really, is it cold outside over there?
A little. It's been a little better.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So yeah, how many Tex Avery cartoons are you familiar with?
Aside from the one you showed me, I wouldn't say too much. I just mostly fondly remember that early 2003 one.
You know, I failed you and our other friends as a good friend because a lot of you guys haven't watched a lot of the classic cartoons.
I guess not. Maybe it's because we don't really care to. And, like, I don't know, just that there's this psychological feeling some people have where they don't feel an urge to watch something, but once they do, they get really happy. That's how I felt when I watched Gilda.
I mean, it's
like,
yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, where's this been all my life? I'm like, I could have told you about it earlier.
No, it's like I hesitated watching it because I guess I'm just not used to just jumping into something because I'm scared that I'm wasting my time. Like, I think that's really it. I'm just scared of some sort of thing that doesn't even like. I'm scared of wasting my time, but I'm not wasting my time.
No, you're not.
And I guess I was also scared of being invested too much. That's kind of what got. I felt that feeling since I watched the Flame Princess arc in Adventure Time. I felt way too invested and emotional that I couldn't do my math homework. But I did my math homework, so I'm fine.
It's like relaxing is okay. Just do it in moderation.
Sure.
Okay. So anyway, but yeah, that Tex Avery cartoon I recommended to you. It's like that happens to be my favorite cartoon he did.
Is it because it's country?
How did you know? But no, I like it for more reasons than that. I think it's just the quintessential Tex Avery cartoon. It's got all the humor. It's got all the characters. It's got all the gags. It's got everything in a 6.5 minute cartoon.
Well, what I love about that show is that like the characters don't typically react like how you would think they would. Like, when they would get hit in the face, they wouldn't go, yow! They would just simply have that straight face the entire time.
Kiss the cow.
Yeah, exactly! You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that he reused that fucking thing.
Yeah, that's...
Like, I like it when things all come together.
Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people misunderstand about Tex Avery cartoons, because that's one reason why that Deke cartoon failed, because they thought Tex Avery was all dynamites and wacky faces. Like, no, it was about being unexpected. He was always pushing audiences' expectations.
I love that GIF he did where it was just where the wolf was just going through all those doors.
Yeah. he did that a couple of times, but he always had a different. He did repeat a lot of gags, but he always had a different like spin on it. Like there was he usually made cartoons about characters trying to sleep, but each cartoon was always different. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Like one of my favorites from when I was a kid was one where a dog wants to go rabbit hunting, but the owner's like, oh no, it's like, you won't catch that rabbit unless you get a lot of sleep. And so throughout this whole cartoon, this rabbit's just torturing this dog while he's trying to sleep and keeping him up at night.
Is the rabbit not Bugs
No,
Bunny?
this was MGM.
Oh right.
But yeah.
I remembered that one Warner Brothers cartoon that was basically Tom and Jerry, but with Sylvester and some mouse. I think you know what I'm talking about. I only saw it in a YouTube group.
Probably.
Wait, you do know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
But so yeah, it's like, yeah, doggone it.
Imagine if the internet existed back then. What do you think people would call the Cal art style of that era?
Probably the more rubber hose animation that.
Feminist propaganda. Yeah, just oh my god. I'm gonna get people on my ass, and that's
who cares? It's like,
yeah. Hey, did you know that did you know that the red pill is actually laxative?
That makes a whole lot of sense.
There's a really funny scene I saw. I forgot what movie it was, but it was like this Samuel Jackson was like, take the blue pill, take the red pill to these skinheads, and he had them take the red pill, and oh god, it was so hilarious. Wait, oh God, was Tex Avery or Bob? Who made those World War II cartoons with Daffy Duck and Daffy Duck and Donald Duck?
Well, Tex Avery never worked for Disney, so obviously those Donald Duck cartoons weren't his.
Yeah, yeah. But like Warner Brothers, who did Warner Brothers? Bob Clampett or
Bob Clamp? Oh yeah, well, Bob Clampett was a cartoon director, yeah.
Oh shit, he worked on those?
Well, he didn't work on the Daffy Duck World War II cartoons. It's like every director had there are 3 World War II Daffy Duck cartoons, and two of them were Frank Tashlin, one of them was Friz Freleng.
Friz Freleng,
yeah.
Okay, I haven't heard those guys because I'm an uncultured swine.
Definitely, you need to get those Looney Tunes DVDs, man.
All right, I will.
I don't care. It's like
I'm a cheap boy.
If your mom got her tax refund, tell her to get you them.
Okay. I'm just giving a shit about asking my mom and stuff.
All right. So yeah, it's like I think the tragedy of Tex Avery was he never really got to live long enough to see how much his cartoons would be appreciated by people.
Oh, that is sad.
But yeah, it's like without Tex Avery, it's safe to say we wouldn't have Cartoon Network, and even Bill and Hanna-Barbera said that when they were making Tom and Jerry cartoons back then, that when Tex Avery joined MGM, they made their Tom and Jerry cartoons more fast-paced to keep up with him.
Oh yeah. Okay. Remember that? Wait, hang on. Remember those Tom and Jerry cartoons by Chuck Jones?
I don't want to remember them.
But they were quintessential Chuck Jones, weren't they?
Yes. Here's the thing. Chuck Jones, Tom and Jerry isn't Chuck Jones humor. I think I even read interviews saying that he didn't even like the characters at all.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what in the world now?
Well, I can always talk about more Tex Avery stuff that I love.
What about this whole idea that apparently Tex Avery's cartoons kind of inspired men to be like the wolf and whistle at girls?
It's no more inspirational to that than anything else that's ever been created, where a guy is a stinking throat, where a guy is a super suave guy and he's hitting on ladies.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a Let's Player called Supermaker where they have this guy who's just keeps on gagging and coughing, but sometimes he hams it up a little too much.
Well, I'm not doing that on purpose, I swear.
Yeah, good. Just
I was just out of breath because I'm a fat boy and it's the middle of winter and I just want to go outside and jog.
Oh, you want to jog in the winter? Oh, you went to jog.
No, well, once it gets warmer, I'm going jogging every day.
Oh, that is fantastic. Yeah. I don't work out, but somehow I'm not fat. Yeah. I don't know how I'm not fat, but I'm not fat.
I have my grandpa's genetics.
And for some reason, eating frozen food is not bad for you.
No.
Yeah, well, not frozen food out of the box.
Right.
Yeah, everyone knows what I mean.
So anyway, it's like, one last thing I want to talk about is probably my favorite Tex Avery gag, because I could talk about Tex Avery all day, but I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, so
I can't keep track of time.
Anyway, I'd say my favorite Tex Avery gag is so there was this Tex Avery did a lot of these documentary parody cartoons called travelogues. They were parody of old travelogues, where they would go from like location to location and just be a one-off gag after one-off gag.
All right.
Well, there's one cartoon where they go to Ireland, and then it's like, and now a presentation from the land of Ireland, and then this Irish guy is singing, it's like, when Irish eyes are smiling, and while he's doing that, you see this hair just going along the screen. It's just a hair, because because back then hairs would get caught in film projectors and project onto the screen, so you just see this hair go.
Oh,
so you just see this.
Oh, I thought the hairs. Okay,
No.
I thought it was the cartoon character's hair.
No,
growing.
no. So there's this hair dangling across the screen, and he's just trying to sing his heart like, "The world when Irish eyes are smiling,"
Yeah.
and then finally he just cracks and says, "Hey, you up there! Get that hair out of here!"
I love that. I love that Hannah Looney Tunes Warner Brothers. Was it Mel Blanc's
Yes,
voice?
it was.
That is like, turn off that light.
Yes, that.
Just hearing his yelling voice is the funniest thing.
Well,
ever.
that was Mel Blanc's yelling voice, and I think that was his best yelling voice in that cartoon.
Good,
Yeah.
good. I love the turn off that lights gag where just everything turns off.
And he did it again in like a cartoon called Magical Maestro for MGM. And while it was done more realistic, I just like it done in this Irish thing better because he's just trying to take it so seriously, and then he just finally cracks. He's like, "Get that hair out of here!"
Get that head out of here. That accent is so hard to pull off.
So yeah.
Was the guy who did the original Scrooge Irish?
I don't remember. I think maybe he was. I think he was either Welsh or Scottish or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Irish and Scottish.
Yeah.
Okay, bitch. I'm just, I am practically done inking my thing. I just have to add some more detail, and bada boom, I will show you.
All right, cool. I got mine pretty much done. So final thoughts.
Great.
Tex Avery. He's my.
I learned a lot on this conversation. I love the Tex Avery guy just because he, I don't know, just all the subtle nuances inspired people in ways that no one even knew that inspired them in.
He was definitely a big influence on cartoons, and it's safe to say that without him, we probably never would have had Cartoon Network, or we never would have had Aladdin. We never would have had The Mask.
There's a CNN documentary about comedy, and they had a section on animation about how animators these days on the internet took so much influence from Tex Avery. I guess they didn't even realize that they took influence from him because I don't know, just the way he expects, like the whole unexpected thing that that thing is like overused in a lot of cartoons where I am just fucking rambling. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's one thing to be unexpected, but I guess it's another to just be. It becomes so expected to be unexpected. Like, I don't know, like you see a cute boy or a cute bunny, you think it's cute, but then it turns violent. Like that's become so expected.
Yeah.
That I don't know. That's no longer unexpected.
Well, that's why Tex A was always about playing expectations, because you never knew how characters were going to react, and it's like that always made you want to watch every cartoon because you never knew what was going to happen.
You remember, the one where it's like the guy in front of the girl picture, and he's like, "You might as well move on. I'm not moving throughout the whole picture." And then he moves on.
See, you've seen some Tex Avery stuff.
Yeah, but it's like that was in a compilation of raunchy cartoons back in the day. Like, it also had a clip of the beavers damming the river, and they were just cussing at the river.
Did you see the end of that gag where there's a shootout?
I ain't got no body! That's what made me laugh. That's what got me. And that's what I mean by expectations. He does it in a way that isn't expected, like actually not expected. Oof. Come on, bitch.
So anyway, if any of you haven't seen any Tex Avery cartoons, you should do yourselves a favor and watch every one you can.
Alrighty. Okay, so I think I got the thing there. Like, her frills on her bottom thing are kind of tricky. Hang on. I have the ability to take a picture of my screen, so why don't we just show off what we've drawn, and okay. Yeah, send it to me on Skype. But hang on, I can't send it to you on Skype because my computer doesn't have Skype right now. But however, my phone does. Wait, let's see if I could try something here. Yeah, you would send me your picture and I'll find mine.
Okay, cut this part out because I'm gonna save it, or I can just take a snippet.
Oh, don't worry. I will cut this.
Okay, because I'm gonna hit export, and I got a bunch of porn saved on my picture, so I don't want that to pop up on YouTube.
Have you thought about getting a hard drive?
Oh, nope. It went to a folder that doesn't have any raunchy stuff in it.
All right. Have you thought about getting a hard drive?
I am too poor right now.
Okay, well, maybe for Christmas.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What would I need a hard drive for?
To save all the pictures you have.
That's what clouds are for.
All right, fair. That's what I used to. By the way, here is the picture I hang on. I did of Droopy and Red Riding Hood.
Well, it's weird because whenever I try to save my pictures in clouds, they always come back down.
Mm-hmm.
You better keep that in. Holy crap, that's good.
Thank you very much. First time drawing Droopy too.
Here, I'll send you mine real quick.
Have you ever drawn hang on. Have you ever let go a bunch of balloons in the air?
Yeah, we did a couple of times in memory of my...
Did you make a wish?
No, I can't say I did.
Oh. Also, what is this? Did Droopy have a son?
In the Tom and Jerry Kids cartoon.
Oh, okay. What even was Tom and Jerry Kids? Yeah, I know it was like a kid version of a popular thing.
It was basically a neutered version of Tom and Jerry.
Did Tom and Jerry talk?
No.
Oh, okay. And hey, that's a really good Wolf Boy. I remember that short where it spawned that waifu of the month. You know what I'm talking about? The fine little pretty. How did he say it?
That's a nice leg of stick his throat. That's a nice leg of lamb.
Yeah.
No, that was this was from a different one, but yeah.
Yeah. This guy is like the total opposite of the other wolf. I want to see them do stuff together.
Yeah.
I think with that we close. It's been wonderful getting to talk with you, my friend.
Thanks for joining me, and it was fun drawing with you, and I hope you folks watch more Tex Avery cartoons.
Please, stay salty, everybody.
Stay loony, my toonies.